What's up, guys? Welcome to the Terrible Towel post-game show. I am your host, SimFBallCritic. I gotta laugh at myself really quick, guys. Y'all noticed that you saw the intro twice. I'm sitting here about to start, no microphone. My microphone was upstairs, so I hope you guys saw when I typed that in. I said, my fault, guys, I forgot the mic. We're gonna run this back really quick, but we're here now. And how fitting. That intro that you guys see, the playing of Renegade, that was against the Cincinnati Bengals. How fitting that that is the intro for today's show. There you have it. So let's talk about it, guys. Listen, gonna be really quick today, and I really mean that, guys. Today, I have to run. I got to be in and out. It's crazy. I told you guys a while back. I live in the same neighborhood now as my mother and father-in-law. Leonard. And here's my father-in-law, and we got Sunday dinner about to happen, so I just left his house. We were watching the game. I said, I'm gonna run over here, do the show, run back, so it's gonna be in and out. All right, so I promise you guys, I'm looking at my clock, I cannot go beyond 30 minutes, and less than that if possible. So let's get into it, man. Great still a win, great still a win, and I'm just making sure you guys can hear me. I believe you guys can. Let me talk about a couple things really quick. I'm going to talk about some of the negative, okay? Really quick. We always debate what's coaching, what's not coaching. Let me address coaching really quick. There's two things I want to say about coaching. And, yes, I am a Mike Tomlin supporter. I think Mike Tomlin is a good coach, but I have to pick on him a little bit here. That first challenge. Why did you challenge that? I don't know why we challenged that very first challenge of a first down, spotted the ball. I mean, it was clear that Switzer didn't get down. Didn't extend the ball or anything. It was a great tackle by the Bengals defender. Shoulder goes down, ball is clutched to his chest. There's no way it's at the 20-yard line, and we challenged that, okay? I didn't agree with that, didn't understand why we would do that and give up a timeout. It was clear that it wasn't going to be overturned. Now, let me back up a little bit. The first time out. This is the second week, if I'm not mistaken. I think it happened in the Falcons game. If not the Falcons game, it might have been the Ravens game. But this is twice now that we have called a timeout on the first drive. That's clock management. We got to blame the coaching on that. Whether it's Tomlin being the top dog, whether it's position coaches, whether it's I don't know, people in the booth. What's up with that? What is the deal with our time management? And that is a knock, again, that I have to put on Coach Tomlin, because it's been this way under his tenure that, we just don't seem to be able to manage the clock and timeout well. I don't understand that. So, again, calling the timeout so early in the game on the first offensive drive stinks. You can't be doing that, okay? And then challenging that spotted the ball on that first down attempt. Clearly, everybody at home saw it wasn't a first down. Okay, so now let's go to the next thing that I got to criticize them for. You don't challenge the James Conner touchdown? Now, I get it. I'm going to shoot Mike Tomlin a little bit of bell right here. I understand why you're hesitant to challenge the next time. I get it. Because you lost the first one. It'll be your only challenge. Maybe you're thinking you need a challenge later. You already lost the first one. I get it. But to me, that one was more clear than not. It was clear to me that James Conner, when he came down, a shoulder hit, and the ball was right there over the line. Now, was there a clear, concise camera angle or whatever? I don't know. But it looked like, from what we all saw on the TV, clearly, if you are willing to challenge that first call, the red flag should have been jumping out of your pocket for that one, and it didn't happen. Here's another problem. Now, I'm going to blame coaching and players on this one. 3 attempts from the 1-yard line, and you can't get in the end zone? Again, shoot Mike Tomlin a little bit of bail. Maybe Mike Tomlin feels like, listen, man, we got 3 cracks at it. It's going to be first and goal. Okay, I get it. But then we don't execute. Didn't necessarily like the play calling so much down there, but it is what it is. Listen, that's something that we can argue till the cows come home. We're not always going to agree with play calls. Guys, we're not on the field. So I try to, reel myself back in a little bit for criticizing coaches and play calling because I'm not out there. I'm just giving my opinion. But I didn't really like that series of downs. That almost cost us as well. We didn't get a touchdown there. Only got a field goal, and that could have came back to bite us. Okay? So those are a couple things that I got in terms of coaching. Also, a couple other things. And it's funny because I'm going to bring this point back around later in the video. There was a couple times, man, when we still got caught up in situations where we see linebackers on wide receivers. Now, there were times that you got linebackers on tight ends. That's pretty normal. Sometimes it's going to be a backer. Sometimes it'll be a safety, depending on, how you want to play it. But there was a lot of times, man, when we had Vince Williams out in coverage, like lined up across from a guy. Or there was one time when they picked up a first down. It was against Tyler Boyd, I believe, got it. Might have even been a touchdown. That play where T.J. Watt had went down, had to come out of the game. Chickalo comes in. They throw it to Boyd in the touchdown. Anthony Chickalo is guarding him. Situations like that. And again, that's just a chess match between the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. It happens. We get guys caught in wild positions as well. And then there was a couple times I didn't agree with Keith Butler blitzing based on the certain situation. There were times when we left guys wide open. That's what happens when you blitz. Remember what I just said there, because we're going to come back to that at the end of this video, basically how we won the game. But outside of that, man, let's get into the good stuff, man. Listen, I got a ton of notes here, but like I said, guys, I'm flying through this one. Time check, we're at 10 minutes and 36 seconds. I got to walk back over here to my in-laws' house and have dinner right around the corner here in the same neighborhood. So, guys, this time of day, whenever we do these type of recaps, it's going to be this type of situation, kind of quick, in and out. So let's take a look at some of these notations, guys. There's a lot I want to talk about in a very short amount of time. Steelers are the most penalized team in the NFL. That's got to stop. That has got to stop. Now, I'm going to agree with my father-in-law, Leonard, here, and probably a couple of you other guys will say this. You got to hold the coaches responsible for penalties and lack of discipline. But my argument to that, again, is what do they do? What do the coaches do when the players on the field creating their own penalties? Things like holding. What do they do? And I know, the sentiment is you got to pull that guy out of the game and sit him down, but who do we bring in behind that guy? And I get it. Because, people always say, Bill Belichick, or whatever, he's disciplined, you don't do your job, he sits you. I get it. But I don't necessarily want to take that approach just to prove a point if it's going to hurt the team, so to speak. But I don't know. What do? We know the Steelers bring in refs and all of that in training camp and practice. What do we do about the penalties? Again, the coaches got to wear the brunt of some of that responsibility. But, guys, what do? How do you keep guys from Artie Burns from pushing Erickson out of bounds? I'm going to get to Artie in a minute. But what do you do about that? Even with Artie Burns, he's really not the starter per se anymore. He's more of a rotational piece. But what do you do? We have to use him in our depth. But it's crazy to me that Artie Burns, man, he just... Let me talk about Artie really, really quick and get out of here. I can't wait to show you guys the All-22. That back pedal to give up the touchdown to Boyd, right? Matter of fact, Boyd had been running that out pad, and the Bengals have been running that quick out all game. Why are you backpedaling so far and you're defending 15 yards of field? You can't be backpedaling that far into your own end zone. And I understand maybe he thinks that Boyd is going to run a post or whatever, but Artie, technique-wise, you got to reduce some of that space. Use the end zone as, more of a, more of your friend in that regards, because you can't give up that much space. And even the commentator said Artie Burns bites on what was a very, very simple, not much of a move by Boyd. Artie Burns just saying that. Again, I'm not the guy that's going to call a professional player a scrub or a bum, or I don't do that. They made it further than I did. I give them that respect. Artie Burns is just not it. Steelers definitely got to go looking for a cornerback in the draft. And maybe Cam Sutton will develop. Cam Sutton played fairly well. I know he had allowed some catches, but I mean, he's defending, what's the guy, Uzuma, probably got 6-7 inches over him. And there was a very, very solid pass breakup that, Cam Sutton had in that game. Cam Sutton played very well. Showed himself very well. Joe Hayden played very well for the most part. Now, again, did we give up some plays? Of course we did. All NFL teams are going to give up something. But Joe Hayden made some plays. A very key breakup on, it was a third down, like a 3rd and 15 or whatever. And he got underneath it, popped it up. Luckily, it went out of bounds. Great play. Let's get on Joe Hayden real quick, though. Joe, you got to make that interception, baby. I'm talking about the first one. Remember early on in the game, hits him right in the hands? Joe, I need you to catch that thing. You take 7 points off of the board right there. That was a turning point in that game. I was telling Leonard as we were watching it, I said, listen, if we lose this game, there's 2 turning points in the game, in my opinion, that would have cost us the game. Number 1, Joe Hayden has to make that interception. Reason why, obviously, guys, you take points off of the board, take a possession away from them, but also the Steelers' defense, in my opinion, and they may prove us wrong in the second half of the season, but in my opinion, the Steelers' defense is not good enough to leave opportunities on the field and recover from them. So I was saying to myself, wow, you can't leave that opportunity out there because we're not going to hold this team the entire time. I remember telling Leonard that and texting my brother Tony here. And I said, yo, Tony, I don't like this last drive. When Cincinnati scored, I don't like this drive because our defense just got off the field with 2 consecutive 3-and-outs. I don't trust them to do that again. And honestly, we're not that good a defense to expect that to happen. I couldn't put it all on them. Lo and behold, exactly what I said happened. Bengals drive down. Quick passes, pass across the middle. Again, there was a blitz in there with Mike Hilton, leaves A.J. Green wide open in the middle. Cam Sutton unable to get there. Then they finish off the drive, handing the ball off to Joe Mixon. Touchdown. But at that point, I looked at Lennon and I said, listen, let me predict the future. Actually, I said this before it all happened. When we kicked it back to Cincinnati, I said, this is what's about to happen. Cincinnati going to score a touchdown. We're going to get the ball back. We're going to drive down the field. Chris Boswell going to redeem himself. He's going to be the hero. I said, mark my words. Almost happened. But Ben Roethlisberger and Antonio Brown had something more to say about that. So let's talk about individual efforts, guys. Again, y'all can see I'm speeding through this thing because I want to give some time to read you guys' comments. Let's see here. I had so much to talk about, guys, and maybe I'll save some of this for Tuesday. I mean, I don't know if you guys will be able to see it. Nah. Y'all can't see it. I got a boatload of notes where I documented the first drive of both offense, defense. I basically documented every single drive, so I got so much to talk about. But again, I can't spend a lot of time here today on that. Let's talk about individual efforts, guys. Listen. Let me be negative first, then I'll be positive. I love Big Ben, man, but Ben scares me sometimes. Ben still makes some wild throws. Y'all saw him. Some of them throws that Ben made should have been picked. Some of the throws that Ben made should have never happened. Ben is taking a lot of chances. He's turning into, which he probably already really was, but just to, for sake of reference, he's reminding me of Brett Favre, man, where he's going to throw you a pick every now and then or try to give the defense a pick, but then he makes a great play. For the most part, Roethlisberger balled out, man. Balled out. Let's look at his stats. Ben Roethlisberger was 32 for 46, 369 yards, a touchdown, no interceptions. That's the type of Big Ben I like. Let's give James Conner some love. 19 carries, 111 yards, 2 touchdowns, 5.8 average. I'm going to talk about that really quick. Juju Smith-Schuster, 7 receptions, 111 yards. What a catch Juju made down on the goal line. And again, I think that could have been a touchdown. Because me personally, I think when Juju caught that, both him and I think it was Kirkpatrick or whoever was guarding him, they fought for the ball, but I think Juju didn't get sole possession until he had already rolled into the end zone. But they called him down. it is what it is. But I think that could have been called a touchdown. But what a catch by Juju. He made some great grabs in the game. Antonio Brown, obviously finishing the game the way he did. 5 receptions, 105 with 1 touchdown. Big Vance McDonald. Boy, let me tell y'all something. We got us a tight end, boy. Me and Leonard, for several years now, we've been talking about how our tight ends catch the ball and get tackled. You breathe on them and they fall. And Jesse James has a little case of that. Heath Miller had a case of that late in his career, which I understand. But I'm going to tell you right now, Vance McDonald is becoming one of my favorites. If he stays healthy, Vance McDonald ain't playing no games out there. It's hard to tackle him. He's running through everybody. And I love the fact that he gave it to Burfict. Love Vance McDonald, man. I get excited when he has the ball in his hand. Now, we got to knock him a little bit. Late in the game, trying to get the first down. It was actually funny. He tried to hurdle the guy because he's trying to get to the first down marker. Fumbles the ball, but what's funny is the ball hit his own leg. So as he's hurdling, the ball, boom, bounces off of his thigh, comes out, and Juju, being Johnny on the spot, recovers it. That saved our butts right there. But, we got to pick on Vance for that. But outside of that, I love this kid McDonald. Balled out. Last thing I'll really say, guys, I can't believe I'm getting through this so fast. The defense, as it stands right now, the defense has a potential to get better. I really believe that. Let me tell you why. We just faced off against 2 top 5 offenses and played relatively well. We gave up some stuff today. Yes, we did. We gave up a couple big runs here and there. Yes, we did. But we played relatively well. In my opinion, we're playing enough to be able to win. What did I say last week? If we can hold teams to 21 or under 25, which I know that's a lot, but you can hold teams to no more than 21 points, I think the Steelers offense has the ability to outperform that team. You can win. So I think we're right back in the thick of it. I don't know if we're really in the hunt, but we've positioned ourselves to possibly now even being able to, get the division. Possibly. I mean, that's a huge possibly. But I think we're in a good spot. Again, I'll go in more of this when we talk Tuesday, because this time on Tuesday we don't have an opponent to talk about. We'll allow Tuesday to be more of a lengthy video. We'll dissect some things, et cetera, and then of course show you guys some all 22. And then the following Tuesday, even on the bye week, we will talk about the upcoming opponent. So we'll make up for lost time that we're having today. Again, I'm going to ask you guys, what do we do with Le'Veon Bell, man? What do we do? James Conner was out there balling, running hard, running through people, running with purpose. What do we do when Le'Veon Bell comes back? I'm just saying. Is he an outstanding player? Absolutely. But I don't want him affecting the chemistry. I don't want that. I don't want that. What else am I going to say, guys? And I want to see what you guys got. We're at 22 minutes right now. We got good time right now. Is there anything else I want to say to you guys before I get out of here? We'll see, man. We'll see what type of team, how we come out of the bye is going to be crucial. You got Cleveland and you got the Ravens right there. And I said it, if we need to go at least 2-1 in the next 3 games, which we got the first one today. So we need to go at least 1-1 in the next 2 games. And I think that keeps us in position to compete for the division. If we win all 3 games, it really puts us in great position to compete for the division, especially seeing that Cleveland lost today. We'll see what happens with the Ravens and the Titans. And obviously, we get a divisional win finally against the Bengals today. They're still 4-2. But again, if we can win the game we won today, win against the Ravens and win against Cleveland, we're right there. We're right in good position to make something happen. So, all right, that's about all I got, guys, for today. Like I said, I got to run. I got to get out of here today, man. But I think we've talked some good football here, some good Steeler talk. Let me see what you guys got. Not tonight, Deron. Not tonight. Tuesday. You could definitely join Tuesday. I got to run today, man. I can't afford really for this to go beyond 30 minutes tonight. But Tuesday, guys, definitely if you guys want to chime in live, let me let you guys know how to do that in case you guys are new to this. I use Skype. All I need you to do is, shoot me a request on Skype. Same name as it is here, SimFBallCritic, SimFBallCritic, SimFBallCritic. Shoot me a request on Skype. Leave me a little message and let me know who you are. I will accept it, and all you have to do is call in. And your voice will be captured in the stream, and there you go. And that's how I really want these shows to start going. I want to start, taking calls here and there and here and there, just to hear what you guys have to say, not just listening to me. All right, so let's see what you guys got, man. Really, really quick. And shout outs to everybody who's here, man. You know the regulars: Mariano Papa, Champagne Poppy, my brother-in-law Tony, my father-in-law Leonard. I'm sure Kenyon is in here somewhere. Howard is probably in here, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I see you guys now. So let's get a few of you guys' comments, man, and then we'll roll. Tony says, Artie always getting burned, fouled up again. Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't even know what else to say about Artie. I don't know. I don't know. The Hawk says, biggest question. This is a 2 straight weeks of the team we wanted from the start. Are they here to stay? Big question. Especially, Hawk, with us going into the bye. You would imagine, in a perfect world, you go into this bye and you assess the situation. You say, okay, we are above 500. We've beat some teams with high quality offense, because let's face it, defense has been our weakest link. Okay? You get into the bye and you start talking like, look, man, we clean up this, clean up that, clean up that. We can beat this on a consistent basis. So logically, you would think the Steelers come out of the bye a better team. We'll see. We still got a lot to face. We come right out of the bye right away with 2 divisional games, and then it starts rolling. We start getting into some more quarterback play. Your Phillip Rivers of the world. We still got the Saints on the schedule late. We still got the Patriots. We got a lot. Raiders, I'm not too concerned with them right now. They're not looking their best, but again, those are teams that could catch us sleeping. So, we'll see. Antonio Wilson says, oh yeah, I know. He says, I meant heart attack. Yeah, I think what you're trying to say is you're going to catch a heart attack watching these games. As am I. I was telling Leonard the same thing. I said, man, this is not good for our health watching these games. Kenya says, man, you knew that Artie P.I. was coming. Oh, he just don't have it, guys. Let's face it, he just doesn't. And shout outs to Dave Bryant at SteelersDepot.com. I saw him tweet during the game. He said, remember, guys, at the end of this season, the Steelers have to decide on Artie Burns' 5th-year option. And I wrote back to him. I said, well, I think Steeler Nation has decided. No way. I'm sorry, Artie. You just didn't pan out, my brother. It is what it is. All right, let me get to some more of you guys' comments. Sean Chandler says, outstanding win. Here we go, Steeler Nation. Absolutely. Let's see what else y'all got. King James is #1, says, I'm a Ravens fan, but AB is just something else. Listen, let's give you a round of applause, my brother. The reason why I'm going to give you a round of applause, because as a football fan, and just as fans in general, we should be able to do that, right? You're a Ravens fan, we're Steelers fans, and we're rivals. We can talk smack back and forth, joking, but it should be all love at the end of the day. It's just like I love Ed Reed. Let me tell you something. Ed Reed is one of my favorite players of all time, just because of everything about him, where he came from, what he stood for, his personality, and just the way he played on that field. And Ray Lewis. I know Ray Lewis got a couple strikes, against his character, but on the football field, come on, man. How could you not respect those dudes? How could you not, like the tenacity of T-Sizzle, Terrell Suggs? How could you not like a Lodi Nada, when he was killing people in the middle and busted Ben's nose? I mean, I love that style of play. So it's always respect to the Ravens, even though you guys are rivals. Let's see what else y'all got here. Got a few more minutes, guys. We're going to go maybe about 3 or 4 more minutes, and then I'm done. Kenya says, that was a touchdown, but Tomlin had already failed the first challenge, so I see why he didn't challenge. Fair point. And you're absolutely right, Kenyon. I think that's why he didn't do it. it just ticks me off, man, to see why would you challenge that first one. You see what I'm saying? So, but clearly, you know, can't blame him for not going out on a limb and challenging the second one, which I think we would have won. Oh, man, Night Wolf, absolutely. Did y'all see when Vince Williams was on AJ Green? The question is, why do we keep losing that chess match? I understand the chess match, right? I understand you throw certain personnel out of there and, you know, the defensive coordinator's thinking one thing, offensive coordinator's thinking another. But we seem to keep getting caught with that. And it could be, guys, I don't know, but it could be because there's no Morgan Burnett. Remember, the Steelers wanted to throw a lot of 3 safety sets out there, right? Morgan Burnett is a box player along with Edmonds. Edmonds is probably going to be better in the box. So maybe when we get all 3 of those guys, him, you know, Edmonds and Davis on the field, maybe we'll see more situations where they're out there and it eliminates possibly having a Vince Williams on an AJ Green. But we keep getting caught in those. TJ Watt gets caught in coverage a lot. We saw it again. I mentioned this earlier, but you saw what happened with Chickalo on that touchdown to Boyd. I don't know why that keeps happening. I don't understand it, Keith Butler. Again, that's coaching. That's coaching. Oh, Nightwolf made another good point. Switzer got to do a better job on fielding that punt that he allowed. It bounced at like the 36-yard line, and then that, come on, man. Jordan Berry, I was ready to fire him early in the game, but that man kicked a 65-yard punt in the air. I'll shut up. I'll shut up. I understand why Tomlin, you know, continues to give him bail. Ladell Dorsey says all Cincy had to do was line up AJ in the slot. Yep. And that was that one play again when he was in the slot. Remember, the commentators called it, we blitz Hilton. It's just, again, sometimes, man, the chess match, we just weren't the shoppers. You know, we clearly didn't have Bobby Fischer moves out there today in terms of chess. See what else y'all got. Excuse me. You're absolutely right, Champagne. And I said it earlier. We do got to cut Cam Sutton a little slack, man. He was guarding Yazuma, which they said I think he stands about 6'5", 6'6". And he did a great job for the most part. He got, you know, he got some pass breakups in there. So, I'm not mad at that. Yeah, let me see what else. We'll read like 2 more comments, guys, and then we're going to roll. We're right at about the time limit now. So I'm going to read a couple more of these. Yes, Michael Garman. How could I forget? Did that offensive line play lights out or not? Did they not play lights out? Ben didn't touch the ground. No sacks given up. Let's give our defensive line some credit there too now. I saw some good pressure happening. Bud Dupree. We got to talk about Bud Dupree on the next show on Tuesday. It's got to be something with his technique, man. Bud just doesn't seem to be able to finish. Many times he gets off the ball, good pressure, but it's like that's all he got. We're going to talk about it. Javon Hargrave, I got to apologize to him. I said I hadn't heard his name all year. Come to find out, he got 3 sacks on the season. Got a sack in this game. We got some good pressure up the middle. I seen Tua do quite a few things. Didn't really call Cam Hayward's name too much, but again, I saw pressure being, you know, applied up the middle. Your big boys like that are not always going to get sacked. So let's not be blinded by that, guys. Again, that's why when I watch the All-22, that's why when you hear me come back and say, no, so-and-so is actually playing well, numbers might not show it, but kind of think about like a Casey Hampton. You know, we ain't never really see a lot of numbers with Casey Hampton, but we knew Big Hamp was wreaking havoc. And those are the type of things you're going to get from your interior guys. Just so happened last year Cam Hayward just went on a tear. And I'll read one more of these guys, and then we will go. Let's see. One more. Steeler Spartan says, 1st and 20 and 2 plays, they give up a first. Our D has to be the worst in those situations. You're right. You're right. They're very spotty. Again, that goes back to what I said in the beginning. That's why we can't afford to allow opportunities to turn over the ball slip away. We can't. That Joe Hayden pick would have been huge at that point of the game early on like that. Yeah, so you're absolutely right, man. The Steelers still give up sometimes first downs in those type of situations, or we give up, you know, it's 1st and 20. 2nd and 15 and we give up a big chunk and, you know, puts the team, the offensive team, back in a advantageous, you know, situation. We can't be doing that. We've got to improve there. But yeah, that's what I'm going to end it for now, guys. I love it, love it, love it, love it. I appreciate you guys coming through, man. This was a great win for us. I said, man, if we could go into the bye 3-2-1, we're in a good spot. What remains to be seen is first if Le'Veon Bell comes back, and if he does, what do we do with him? I don't think you can take James Conner off of the field. I would like to see some situations, maybe with some 2-back sets. Split Le'Veon Bell out, keep Conner in the backfield. That could confuse some people out there defensively. So that's going to be interesting to watch and see how this happens. Let's see if he does actually show up in the bye week. But great win by the Steelers, man. It's not pretty. It's hard to watch, but they're fighting. They're fighting. Let's see what happens the remaining of the season. And I guess that's it. Again, great win for us. I don't think I missed anything. Let me just scan what you guys are saying one more time just to make sure. Yeah, we got to talk about that a little bit. Juju, yeah, he dropped a couple. He dropped a couple, but man, when you make the plays that he did make, I mean, he came up with some of the biggest catches in the game. You know, so I'm not gonna beat Juju up about that. That catch on the sideline, come on, how do you hold on to that one? Ben finding him, and let's end it with that. Let's talk about that really quick. I'm going to read actually one of Kenyon's comments. Then I'm going to talk about Ben and AB really fast, and I'm out. Kenyon says, D-line played well. Are you serious right now, Sim, about Elmer? See, you wrong, Kenyon. He called him Elmer. He says, you still trying to give him credit for having one move. I know, Kenyon. I know. But you're right. All he got is just that speed move. That's it. What's wrong with him, man? He's just, come on, bud. It's like he got the makeup. He has the body type, the speed. He just can't put it together. He can't put it together. So, again, T.J. Watt is clearly our best rusher right now outside of Mike Hilton. So, there you have it. But last but not least, I told you guys it would come back around when we talk about blitzing. Me and Leonard a lot, we're talking football, man, when we're watching the games. And, you know, a lot of times, and not today, but other games in the past, a lot of times Leonard would say, man, why don't we blitz? And I always say, yeah, I feel you, Leonard, but sometimes if the blitz doesn't get there, or if you blitz at the wrong time, you get killed. We saw it happen to us a few times, but let's just look at the last play. Why was Cincinnati blitzed like that? There was no safety in the field. In the middle of the field at all. It was almost like it looked like an all-out blitz. It was 3rd and 2. Steelers are driving. I understand maybe you're trying to sell out, but you can't at that moment. Send a guy or two. You can't leave a safety in the middle of the field. Ben motions AB, tells him to come in. AB comes slightly inside, ends up in the slot. Ben hits him on a quick slant. Nobody's there. Sell out on the blitz. Fully vacated the middle. AB catches it, houses it. Steelers win the football game. And that's what I'm talking about. Those are the reasons why you cannot blitz all the time. That's exactly the reason why. Why would they do that? I'm glad they did it, but wow. And we're going to look at that one in the All-22. I promise. I'll remember that one. So, there you have it, guys. I'm done. I got to get out of here. I got to run. We got it under 40 minutes. That's good for us. So I got to get out of here. But before I do, man, again, if you're new to the channel and you like what you saw here, you enjoy this talk, you're still a fan or you're a supporter of what I've said here tonight, please subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to do that. Subscribe. Come on, be a part of the home team. We'll love to have you. Also, if you are a subscriber already, make sure you cut on your notifications so you know when the new videos are available. Last but not least, hit the like button. I see 15 of you guys have already done that. But like, we can do a little better than that, right? Hit that like button, share the stream. That helps me greatly, okay? That's all I ask. I ask for you guys to sub, hit the like button, share the stream, and you guys are helping me way more than you can even imagine. All right, so I'm out, guys. I'll catch you guys on Tuesday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern for Terrible Towel Tuesday. We'll watch some All-22 footage. We'll talk more about this game, and we'll just talk about how we feel about that current Steelers, and I would love to have some of you guys come on for that show. Deron Smith, definitely you'll be one of them. All right, so catch you guys later. Great win. Here we go, Steelers. And thank you for tuning in to the Terrible Towel postgame show. Peace.